Good evening, RJ and Crystal, and I hope you do not mind the fact that I gave you a nickname because I went to write your name and I was like, I'm not going to stumble over that this whole reading. I am absolutely going to make it something easy that I can just refer to. And just know that during the session, at some points, I'll refer to you, Crystal, and sometimes I'll refer to your son like I'm talking to him directly. And it's just because I'm assuming that both of you will watch this, so it'll get divided out as needed. This is going to be your progeny bloodline reading. So this is like the child's chart reading, but it's sort of expanded, should I say? That did nothing. Okay. So not only am I going to look into directly the past life that affected this life, what gifts RJ came into this life with, and the struggles, the challenges, what is it all adding up to? What did he want to accomplish in this life? But I am going to take a look into what ancestral chain he is breaking, uh, what binding, what curse he is clearing, and then what effect that clearing will have on his future progeny and the future generations that come after that. So this is a full bloodline sweep and its connection to this one person, this one chain, this one branch that will come from your son, which is beginning now. Congratulations, you're about to have your first child, and we're going to find out why all of that sort of came together for you like this, so that you have a renewed sense of purpose, sir and mom. So I actually want to start with what chain or curse will RJ be clearing for his family? And I see it looks like, based on the chart, what I'm seeing is a double mission. You're clearing them something for the maternal energy on your dad's side and something for the masculine energy on your mom's side. So you already came into this thinking that you were it. Like, this is solid. But I'm pretty sure that's why you're a Scorpio. You came to make some transformation, but it's like you being the thing that transforms due to everything you go through in this life. So defense showed up, right? But what I'm getting is setbacks from external forces, actually. And the card says unseen resistance to unresolved issues. Explore with curiosity, reflection, acceptance, and growth. The next one is journey inward. The path to enlightenment starts within you, introspection and growth, and then mental contest, right? Strength isn't from winning, struggling defines strength, struggles define strength, control, power, repressed. The theme of this is this shadow dance here, right? You see how that's masculine and feminine, but it's you balancing out your light and dark side, your fluidity, movement being open. It's you recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses, but not allowing one or the other to become the predominant part of your character. So anything can be negative when it is done too much. So if you are a valiant person and you're always on the up and up and doing good things, there's a good possibility that sometimes you count yourself out and then you become the person you neglect because you're so busy handling stuff for other people. On the other end, there's a person who's completely self-indulgent and so focused on themselves that they don't care about the people they leave in the flames. When you are doing this shadow dance or integrating both parts, which is a big part of Scorpio energy, right? If you want to get to the good part of the Scorpio, that's the Phoenix. That's when you burn away all the parts that are like snake-like. When you take the wisdom of the serpent, like the ability to see another one in the grass or to recognize danger or to be the danger, right? You carry that with you, but you turn into the Phoenix, you turn into the bird, you start to fly again. You have balanced out both of your energies. That's what this is feeling like to me. But the rest of this, a reflection of what you're clearing for other people. It's like people before you in your family didn't have access to psychology. Isn't that the craziest thing for that to turn out to be? Like fear of their shadow caused them to fall into addictions. Like when you don't want to recognize that you're not the person that you wanted to be or that you did something to hurt somebody else, sometimes you look to something to numb it. That seems like that was a pattern. And is this on the masculine or the feminine side? feminines. So this would be like your mom's brothers, her uncles, her father, all those on that side is what I'm getting. They did not know how to balance their emotional energy. It's like brute strength or pride led the way, but not emotional intelligence. You are learning emotional intelligence, but that is the thing that connects both the dad side and the mom side. You're doing something for the masculine energy on both sides of your family tree. Now I'm looking at like, where's your Gemini energy? You're meant to be known as somebody who is dual minded. And I'll even say Gemini because the 25th degree in astrology is a degree of self. So you are a learner, or you will start as a student and work your way up to teacher after you nail what appears to be like the healing of your self-worth. But as a man, you're fixing the masculine energy all the way around, but getting it out of a toxic state. And that toxicity feels like I pay the bills, you do this, I do that, I do what I want to do because I pay the bills. Like just the ick. That's what this defensive is. Like, how can you be protector and stand up for what you believe in without turning into somebody who's like driven crazy with the power? That's the chain that you're breaking. And you plan on doing that through marriage. You will be the dominant party in your marriage. So this right here is known as your south node. It is what you are walking away from, or what you were taking all that knowledge from. You know how I was saying that snake thing in the beginning? Taking all that serpent wisdom, that wisdom from being in the dark and having to be like on the lookout because everybody's worried about you, thinking you're the predator or you're the villain. So much so that it turns you into prey. Like you're the thing everybody's scared of. So they're always on alert and they want to come towards you for some, whatever the reason is, right? This could be a black man thing, but taking the knowledge from having to be that person and cultivating yourself into the weapon that they fear, but like in an intellectual way. That is what your north node, which is the direction you're meant to head into in this life, is all about. So you start off, this is around 18 and a half, 19. This is your first checkpoint. And learning what it means to be a partner to yourself first, like what your needs are to be balanced. And this could come through seeing everything that you don't need. Or you can just be making a list in your head, like, okay, I'm this type of man. I need this type of partner. But this is the house of marriage. This is you coming to be like the dominant party in a marriage, the person who is in it's the power position. It's the lead. It's the initiator. That's you pushing like full force ahead into like your testosterone because you have to be the defense, the strength. This is you starting your own branch, right? This Venus right here, which is your value in this life, what you are contributing for you is in the family house. It looks like you agreed to contribute a healthy branch based upon you being in charge of it. And this team or this energy directly is playing out like through your mom's household. Anything that you have at the 29th degree is a final exam. You have a big turning point, and I want to call it like for you. So it's sort of Midas-like. You turning something that nobody else would have thought was gold into gold for yourself. This is a test of alchemy and as a healer. Can you repair yourself from all the setbacks that could have completely thrown your life off for you to rise into a story that empowers others, not only the children that come after you, but it looks like some people, like as a collective, as a group of people, you might want to talk to a certain group of people since you will be known for your words and for the family that you create. So I'm going to pull now for what this is going to do for future generations. What's this going to repair? What will RJ completing his job do for his children and the children that come after that, for his branch and every piece of the family's ours? Then I say you were put in the position of leadership. You are closing out the chapters of the tree that came before now. That's why that's at the 29th degree, the final degree. The next one is 0, right? That's limitless potential, but it'll be in the sign of Capricorn. So your family's next journey or the next tier of people will be working on building. They'll be master builders. And the only reason they'll have the tools to build will be because of what you created before them. You starting a new philosophy and a new belief system about the importance of family. You find your value and your importance, what you feel like is your place in this world through your family and seeing what is needed in the household. That's right next to your Eros. Eros is like your joie de vivre. What gives you joy? What gives you the energy to wake up every day? The idea of you creating wealth, money, and expanding, like this is ride around and getting it energy, but you don't want to ride around and get it that way. Yours is done through hard work and determination and flexibility. And in some way, shape, or form, self-sacrifice that you benefit from. So going forth, the ripple that you have broken with those who didn't get to go to counseling, didn't get to figure out how to figure out their mental stuff, had a whole bunch of stuff placed on them, like being held down systematically and just outside forces, like I was saying. Going forward, your people will be born knowing their worth. So nobody can project on them or put those old misconceptions on them anymore. All the lies that were told to the people in your family about where they were blocked or what they could grow from, that won't be the tale at all. Like you are bringing the balance that was needed between the male and the female relationships. Like everybody's marriages that come from your branch will be better after you because there will be a new family structure that everybody looks up to. Like, well, my dad did this and my dad's dad did this and it's been working for our family. So we're keeping it up as our tradition. You came to start new traditions to be the role model for those. And you'll be doing something humanitarian. You'll be doing something out in the world. What you're doing right now or what you will be doing is building that foundation with your physical body. Your drive will be fueled. I guess that's the best way to say it. Your Mars is your fuel, your personal power, right? You're a slow and steady builder. I was just doing like this, but that was me thinking about like how the bull walks. Like they have to get up traction, but as soon as it gets going, it's going to be like this. And your drive got ignited. What gets ignited for your mama, for your sisters, for your children, for the house that you want to have for yourself. That rules your Scorpio energy. Like you have just been internally set on fire is the best way I can say it in your purpose. So everything you have here at the 22nd degree is ruled by this family that you are meant to have in this life. Even your Pluto, your transformation, your belief system changing. Like you might have had a plan for your life, but the way that you embrace that, you see this Midas again, the way that you embrace the things that have been thrust upon you and the changes that they make for you, there's a reward in that, like a secret reward. It feels like you're gonna get some haters too. Like you're such a stand-up guy. Like, so they're just gonna hate because you were trying to fulfill your contract. And your contract is to do something that makes you sort of kind of a role model for other people. Like say you're just doing your thing and you develop a family, or even if you do the single dad thing, but you develop a way that your life and your child thrive, that your relationship is just like inspirational, like, oh, I need to do that with my kid, A, B, C, and D. That's the energy here. It's given, I know it's a far jump up there, but it's given like Obama energy. You know how Black people look up to the Obamas and stuff? Like, ooh, that's how the family is supposed to run themselves. That's the type of male or masculine energy you carry with the family that you create. And that's the bottom line. You had a contract to get a specific partner. This is a past life partner, somebody that you wanted back, somebody that could have addictions, could be sort of clingy, could be the case. The relationship could be like hard to define, right? But that's like a starter one. There's a second one that is based on mutual values and communication. That's the second like major long-term partnership or actual wife that you come into contact with. I'm saying here. One is one that you would meet while you're out there doing higher education things or being somewhere away from where you grew up. When you're out there like on your own in the dirt, like getting stuff together. And that triggers the rest of your stuff together, like you building a new version of yourself also. The person that you are now, and I mean, I guess that should be logical, right? Boy to man. But the person that you are now is going to expand into this huge healing energy. Like just this calm. Like you finally figured out what your purpose was and you're learning how to walk in that stride. And that is because you see this 18th degree over here, that's where God talks to you. God talks to you every day, by the way. But the way you hear it is when you're in meditation, when you're alone, when you are trying to ground yourself, when you are out in nature, and when you are at least 3 hours or more away from home. You start being guided by the word. It's like it will come through you intuitively. Like sometimes you will be the piece of God that other people need to hear. Like you're sharing a message and that message came from God to somebody who couldn't hear it on their own, but you are that conduit. You are going to be a blessing to bless other people, all with the goal of you one day having a career that gives you a platform or a humanitarian position, something where you're giving back to the world. And the exchange that you get for that is having the family that you want and making the difference in both sides of your bloodline and doing stuff for the future. You sort of get the wife as an award too. It seems like you like having a good, I want to say submissive, but it's like a traditional setup. And if I'm going to be like in a non-gross way, it is you're meant to be with somebody who's sort of like your mom, but somebody who how to say this, like, you want a dude who's very upstanding and takes care of the house, but then you have a wife who is very calm. She is the energy in the house. She handles the business. Like that is the thing that I'm seeing here. You get the dynamic where you get to be what you wanted to see growing up. And all of this is based on what you wanted to do before you got here. Your talent is inspiring and leading other people. And you, over the next couple of years, will be developing the story and the testimony that you will have to share with others that will be that inspiration. You are gaining the life experience that you need as you step away temporarily during this 18 and a half to 19 part. You're going to step away from thinking of yourself as only like a lover boy or only like a partner, right? Into defining yourself and learning your shadow and all that stuff. And in the midst of finding that in like your deepest rootest like masculinity coming up, or dealing with other men that bring out all the masculine toxicity that needs to be cleared from your system, it's like you being exposed to a lot of guys that do stuff the wrong way so that you can be like, yeah, I'm going to do nothing like that and just make mental notes and develop your character more. It's during that time that it feels like you come across that person that you want to settle down with. You're going to be settling down early in this life because you want to establish a family unit. And look in here, there's a very good chance that you end up with a mixed family. There are two different tiers of households here I'm seeing. So imagine you have this baby on the way now, but you don't work out with a particular person that you're with, but you end up meeting somebody like when your child's like 1 or 2 or something, and then y'all actually build out the rest of your family, but it's still like a blended thing. That's very much a possibility I'm seeing here because you absolutely do meet the other person when you're out there trying to build your career, and you meet somebody that is locking in with you based on your similar belief systems, somebody who inspires you to do what you have to do and understands your mission. So you have a very serious life full of adulting, but know that the stuff that you are clearing out is because you agreed to help all of those that came before you clean up their trash and their testosterone. So have a good day. And Crystal, great job raising this one. You'll be very proud of how it turns out if you follow his blueprint. I don't think he has a choice because God's in charge. Y'all have a good evening.